always great when a senior coach can give up their time.
It is fantastic, and thanks for joining us on Triple M, Scotty. Look, this is a big one. Everyone's big, but this is a side and a challenge against you because they're trying to make a statement away from Adelaide Oval.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's always difficult when you're an emerging team to win away from home. I mean, when you're an emerging team, winning at home is hard enough. But, I think a lot's made of the away record. But, it's a bit like close games. I said during the week in the press conference about Collingwood and Port Adelaide's ability to win close games. And the correlation usually is with teams that are good teams win close games. And good teams win away from home, and that's what Adelaide's striving to be. And they look like a good team to me, so we're going to have our work cut out for us.
Speaking of close games, last week, like as the leader, as the coach, how do you lift the side? How do you lift the club and the fans? And because it was a bit of a stab in the heart, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. But, I mean, we're working really hard to become, in that middle band of clubs, probably in the competition, that are striving to become a good team. And, while it was devastating. I mean, we did a lot to get in front. And when you're in front, when the siren goes, it's not often you lose, especially when, the opposition had got a set kick on a wet night outside 50. So, full credit to Dan Houston, was an incredible kick, and Port played really well. But in terms of getting the boys up, it's not difficult. They've been, I reckon that was one of the few weeks the boys would have liked a 5-day break, so they could get out and atone for what happened right at the end there against Port.
Oh, Scotty, congratulations on the job you've done so far. I have not seen a lot of grey hairs in your bonce just yet. So the team's winning games, you're sitting inside the 8, doing fantastic. But I think your list is really interesting. What have you learned about the list so far? Obviously, you're rolled the sleeves up quickly in the senior coaching job. But what do you think of the talent at your disposal?
Oh, look, I think there's a lot of capability on our list. I suppose the challenge is there's a lot of players there that I think are yet to emerge. And probably some players I didn't know a lot about, and still, to be honest, don't know a lot about. Zach Reid, Nick Cox, who haven't played at senior level this year, but have shown both in the few games they've played at AFL level previously, but also on the training track, that they can be elite talent. So I think there's still a lot of unknown with our list. But
Sardis?
Yeah, Sardis is another classic example. He's now 4 weeks back in the VFL and showing all the signs of being a really good player, but he's 18 and will take time to develop. And so I think there's a bit of unknown, but what I do see is a willingness to work, and as a coach, that's what you want.
Just having a look at the last 20 minutes, Rochelle and also Isaac Rankins kicking snaps for pretty much 25 minutes in a row. Haven't missed one. How do you stop that today, along with Tex Walker?
Yeah, and Darcy Fogarty doesn't miss many either. So, they're pretty lethal in their forward half. So, in their wins, they've dominated territory. They've dominated time in possession. And that gives their forwards opportunity to score. So, it's going to be a real challenge in the midfield. It usually is most weeks. So, I think that's the key to this afternoon, and it usually is most weeks.
A change of leadership at your footy club. We were just speaking about Zach Merrett and how good he's been. What has impressed you most about his leadership at the footy club?
Oh, he's an ultra competitor. He's as competitive as anyone I've seen, and I've seen some pretty fierce competitors over my time, and his willingness to win second to none, and he's really had to work hard on that balance of demanding a lot from his teammates, because I think the challenge when you're an elite player, you expect everyone else to rise to your level, and sometimes that's not possible. So he's struck the balance between demanding high standards, but also understanding that he's got to help those players get to that level. So he's been exceptional for us. I just can't speak highly enough of him.
And Brad, it feels like he's brought along a couple of those younger midfields that, been tinkering with that midfield mix. But since Hobbs and Caldwell have been able to get more time in there, you like the mix at the moment with Parrish and Merrett as well?
Yeah, that's a really important point, Joey. I mean, and that's leadership as well. The ability to say, well, we've got these young midfielders who we want to, get time in the midfield, and sometimes you need to sacrifice your game for them. And Merritt's done that on many occasions this year. He's played multiple positions, and that's why we're not concerned about opposition attention, because there's just so many things we can do with Zach to get other players into the game if he's not.
Scotty, work-life balance is a big part of footy. Obviously, it would have been a lot easier with the cushy job you had at the AFL. Are you still finding time to get out on the golf course?
No, I played a lot more golf when I was at the AFL than I do now. No, it's I think the thing about coaching, and this is why probably you get mixed messages. I mean, you missed, when I wasn't coaching, I missed the bits I hated while I was coaching, if that is a perverse way of thinking about it. I mean, you miss the the competitiveness, but when you're in it, that sick feeling of handing over control to the players once the ball bounces, and that sense of, Lee Matthews used to talk about, you cede control to the players, and there's not much what you can do once the game starts. I mean, we try to have influence, but mostly it's about how we prepare our players to go out and execute.
And Scotty, a lot of chat about Mason Redmond and Darcy Parish, of course. You're obviously in contact with these boys all the time, along with your list management team. Are you confident they will stay? And have you got any indication that they'll stay at the Bomberland for the long term?
I know all we've done, Jay, is laid out the vision for the club, exactly what we want to do over the next few years. I've committed to doing everything I can to create a world-class football program, and ultimately, I haven't spoken to either boy individually about staying or going. I mean, my job is to create a great football environment, and I'm really clear on it. I love them. I'd love them to buy in. I'd love them to be part of it. But I think for any footy club, if you've got players who don't want to be a part of it, perhaps they should go. So we're really keen on keeping them. We're working really hard to keep them. But I've said before, I'm not going to emotionally blackmail anyone.
And lastly, Scotty, and thanks for your time before you go. Just something for us to look for today. What's sort of the plan? How do you think you can get the Crows, and what can we expect to see from the team this afternoon?
I think it's all around the contest. I mean, I think Jordan Dawson, he's their captain. He's been a really good player, but he's still somewhat underrated in my view. So he's a really important player for them. And then it's their smalls that are really, really dangerous. And when you've got a key forward like Walker, who's capable of kicking bags of 10. It's cutting off the supply. So, that midfield battle is going to be key for us.
Brad, we really enjoy you giving up your time today. Best of luck.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.